Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another session of Export Week. This is a quick reminder that you can go to marketfinder.thinkwithgoogle.com and download an export report. All you have to do is enter your website URL, and then Google will pull your top recommended markets, and you'll be able to explore a variety of reliable data about those markets. Thank you, and please enjoy the session.
Hello and welcome to another session in Export Week. Today's topic is about building an e-commerce store. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Titus Maina. I'm the head of digital marketing at Africa 118. For the last 7 years, I've had the mandate of creating campaigns for brands such as Coca-Cola, for Toyota, for Samsung, among others. I'm also very passionate about impacting knowledge to SMBs and helping them to achieve growth through digital platforms. And at Africa 118, we are also handling digital marketing for various small to medium businesses. Let me talk about Africa 118. We are the leading provider of digital marketing services for small and medium businesses. So we have a presence in a couple of countries in sub-Saharan Africa, where we focus on South Africa and Nigeria. We also have offices in Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Ghana. Apart from that, we are also proud to be featured Google partner. We offer the Google Digital Skills Program, where we train SMEs on digital usage. There's Google My Business, where we offer verification and claiming of profiles. We also help with Google Ads, where we focus mainly on introductory campaign setup and management for businesses. Today's topic, we'll talk about these three things. The first one is what is e-commerce. We'll define what e-commerce is. We'll also talk about the benefits of e-commerce. So this is basically telling you why you actually need to have e-commerce for your business. And then finally, we'll talk about how to set up an e-commerce store. So I will give a demonstration from one of our very favorite platforms. Let's start with the first thing. So what's e-commerce? So e-commerce basically means the activity of electronically buying or selling products or services online. I'm sure most of you at one point or the other, you've interacted with an e-commerce shop where you bought a shoe, you bought a tour package. So all that is e-commerce. There are very many ways of selling online, but one of the biggest advantages of e-commerce is the fact that you will be able to sell to people without geographical barriers, among other factors. So with online, you do not need to close your shop. You can still let people purchase online, whether it's day or night. Let's look at some of the statistics around e-commerce before we delve into the benefits of e-commerce. So the first thing is I have statistics for South Africa, where like you can see 91% of the people in South Africa at one time or the other, they've searched online for a product or service that they were interested in buying. So that means, for example, you're looking for, like for example, a phone or a TV set, and you go online and search for the best TV set. So 91% of South Africans have actually done that. 90% have visited an online retail store on the web. So that's on any device. And 56% have purchased a product online. So again, that's on any device. And at least 37% have made an online purchase through a laptop, a desktop computer. So the reason we are having this discussion is for you to be able to tap into a piece of the pie on the e-commerce industry, like you can see from the numbers on South Africa alone. In Nigeria, you can see we start by the total value of B2C e-commerce markets. So this is basically where, as a business, you're selling directly to customers. In Nigeria alone, it's valued at 13 billion US dollars. Again, you can see it's also expected to grow. The annual growth in the value of the B2C e-commerce is growing at a phenomenal 42%. The average annual online spend per B2C consumer starts at around $401. That's a lot of money. So That's basically the average, because the average annual online spend per B2C consumer starts at around $401. That's a lot of money. So that's basically the average, because some will spend more, some will spend less. But just imagine the potential your business has if you tap into that kind of opportunity. Again, in terms of the mobile share, right now everything is mobile centric. In terms of mobile share of B2C e-commerce transaction value, 40% of the transactions actually happen from mobile phones. We've been able to define what e-commerce is. You already know what an e-commerce is. I'm sure you're wondering whether you need one. So that's when we now go to the second segment, where I tell you the benefits of an e-commerce shop. The first one is you will get a faster go-to market time, because of course you require considerably less time to set up an e-commerce shop. So basically that means you only need to identify the kind of platform you want to use. And then with some coding or with no coding, you'll be able to come up with your e-commerce shop. And then of course you set up your logistics and you're good to go. Number two, this low cost of setting up an e-commerce shop. You've saved a lot of costing in between. You're not paying rent. You don't need so many people handling direct customers. You can even partner with logistic partners and all that. Again, most buyers nowadays start searching for products online. So for example, assuming you want to buy a house, nowadays what you will naturally do is you go on Google and you type houses for sale around your area. So if it's Lagos, if it's Johannesburg, so that's where you start. And it's very natural, especially now. The first thing you do is you search for the product that you want, and if a brand has positioned themselves very well, then they will be able to take advantage of that, and they will make a conversion. You will be able to get new customers easily. For example, in an offline shop, you will need people to physically be near your area of operations, but for online, someone can see your ad, someone can see your profile on Google, and then the next thing is they are interested in your products, and then they make a purchase. You are able to reach customers as they are searching for your products. So, like I mentioned, you're searching for a house, and then you see that service. So basically, it's just a matter of matching the needs to solutions. So I'm selling this service, I'm selling this product, and this person is searching for this product. They meet in between, and a conversion happens. And then there's no geographical boundaries, as you can address a global market. So this means you could have a physical shop in Lagos, but you could sell to the rest of Africa, because you just need to set up the right logistics. And you don't need to physically be there, because you can do your deliveries, you can do your, as long as you take all the care of all the logistics, then you'll be good to go. As much as we've talked about e-commerce, doesn't mean you need to eliminate the physical stores. So you can still have a physical store where they can complement each other. So you integrate offline and online channels. So I would mention an example in between where this has happened. And you will be able to track your customers' behavior on your website. So what basically this means is you have your e-commerce shop, and then you've connected with Google Analytics. You can be able to actually actually study the data of all the people who visited your website. You will be able to know their demographics. You'll be able to know where they come from. You'll be able to know their touch points, how they came to your website, from which platforms they came in. You will be able to also see the bouncing rates, among other factors. Online shopping, finally, it offers a lot of convenience to your shoppers, as there's no time restriction. So that means if someone is sitting in his house at 12 midnight and they see an issue on your online shop, they can buy directly, and then once you log in, you will see someone made a purchase, and then you can make arrangements on how to do the deliveries and all that. I'm sure we all know some good examples of the big e-commerce players in the market right now in Africa. So let me start by mentioning some. So the first one is Jumia. So Jumia has basically created a platform where a small and medium and even large African companies link with the potential markets. So that basically means you have a product, Jumia gives you the platform where now the product will be seen by prospective buyers. So the site has had a footprint in over 23 countries. And it has some very strong presence in countries such as Nigeria and Kenya. We have Bid.buy, which is one of the top e-commerce websites in South Africa, where you can buy an item directly, or you can even bid it in an auction. We have Konga, which is one of the top e-commerce websites again in Nigeria, and data from 2019 show that Konga counted over 30 million web visitors in Nigeria alone. So those are just some of the players. Of course, there's others such as Kilimall. Of course, Amazon is trying to get their footing in Africa. So the future for e-commerce still remains very strong. Let's look at some of the statistics about the best performing categories. So fashion leads the way. Some people can never say no to a nice pair of shoes or clothes. So if you look at year-to-year growth, you can see if you compare the anticipated growth in 2024, it's expected to be ranging at around $37,301 million. So the next one is electronics and media, there's toys, there's furniture and appliances, and there's food and personal care. So that's according to Statista in terms of the top categories right now. So think about your brand, think about the categories that you are in, you can see the kind of growth that's expected. We, as Africa Online, like I mentioned, we have helped several African businesses set up their e-commerce shops. Let me give you a few examples. So one of them is called Hillcrest Clothing. It's a fashion shop in the heart of Nairobi CBD. So what they've done is they have integrated both offline and online sales, so which has significantly increased their sales. So what they've done is they have a website which is very mobile responsive. And then once you see anything that you are interested in, you can either choose to have it delivered to your location, or you can go to the store and pick it yourself. So this gives them an advantage that someone can actually look at themselves in the mirrors and decide whether they want to buy item A or item B. There's Bella Safaris, which is a tour and safaris companies. They offer bespoke tour companies. So they have a website where you can decide on the packages that you want to buy for yourself. We've talked about what e-commerce is. We've talked about the benefits. So let's look at some of the key things to consider when you're building your own online store. So the first one is the kind of payment integration you want to have on your e-commerce shop. Do you want people to pay through mobile money? Do you want people to pay on PayPal? Do you want people to pay on your card? So you will have your own reasons on why you need to have this. You need to look at delivery process. Do you want to deliver to specific places? Do you want to cover a whole city? Do you want to cover some suburbs, or do you want to cover a region or an entire country? You want to look at the website security. An e-commerce shop, people will be sharing their personal details, their bank details. So you are expected to at least have these websites secure enough. You also need to understand your target audience. And by this, you will be able to know how to prepare for your logistics, your shipping channels, and even the taxes. Because the moment you know that your target audience is based in a specific suburb or a specific city, then that's what will influence the decision about the platform to use, the kind of shipping, the amount of money to charge for example, for shipping. You also need to review existing solutions so that you can already figure out the integrations that you need. So look around, there are so many platforms that exist. So you can look at each of the platforms and ask yourself whether that particular platform actually works for you. Finally, you need to select the right e-commerce platform for your business. That, of course, depends on your needs. So what's your focus in terms of the clients? How many do you anticipate to serve? Like, do you want to integrate your payments? Do you want it to be an a process where someone logs in, checks out, everything is done automatically, or do you want to also have some aspects of manual inside the platform? So with those considerations, then you are able to decide on which platform you're going to use. So once you have set up your shop, then of course you need to promote your shop to let people know about your presence. And that's where Google Ads come in. Google Ads is the biggest search engine platform in the world. It attributes to over 91% of all the searches which are done on search engines. So there are various types of ads. There's Google Search, there's display, there's YouTube, and there's shopping ads. So I will cover each one of these individually. So let's look at search ads. The advantage of search ads, as they are called, they are also known as pay-per-click, because of the fact that you pay the moment people click on your ads. So that means when they see your ad, you're not charged anything, but the moment they just click on their ad and land on your website, then that's the time that you are charged for that ad. Search ads have a lot of strength in the fact that people who come to search on Google, they have very high intent on actually buying your service or your product. And then you can also add some add-ons called extensions, where you can be able to do very many things depending on your goals. So for example, if you are interested in traffic, you can see you'll be able to get people to click on your website. If you want people to visit, if you want foot traffic, you will get people to navigate to your store. If you want people to call your store, then you can be able to display your phone number, among other advantages. Display ads also help you promote your business. So when people are reading their favorite blog, or they are on their favorite app, so they will be able to see your ads. So like you can see on the picture on the left, there are 4 types of ads. So there's Gmail ads. I'm sure when you are on your Gmail, you've seen some sponsored ads which are on top of your inbox. There's the text ads, which show on articles and blogs and other websites. There's the pop-ups on the ads. So for example, you're using a certain app and then an ad just pops up. According to Google, 90% of internet users worldwide can be reached by Google Display Network. So Google Display Network basically means a network of websites and mobile apps, and even Google, who have connected and have the right to show ads from advertisers like you. So we go to YouTube ads. Most of us have gone to YouTube to check our favorites, our favorite videos. And this is where it becomes also another big platform for, especially for brand awareness. So you can see some of the placements that you can have. It can be the skippable video, which gives you 5 seconds to skip. It can be the ads which come on the right side of the search results, and it could be the ad which comes on top when you search for a specific video. Finally, we have shopping ads. So shopping ads, it's a type of ad that shows detailed information about the items that you're selling. So the other ads, for example, someone searched for a product and they got the product. But now for shopping ads, the biggest advantage is the fact that there will be the specific detailed information about that particular product that you are selling. So you will be able to see the pricing, the colors available, the number of products, among others. And you will be able to compare the products from one shop. And once you click on any of the items, you will be taken to a website where now you will be able to see the other similar products. Let's do a recap. We've talked about what an e-commerce shop is. We've talked about the benefits of e-commerce. We've also talked about how you can go about setting an e-commerce shop. From there, let's talk about one of the best solutions for e-commerce right now. Standard and MasterCard have set up a platform called Simply Blue, which is a complete solution for SMEs to cover all needs for accepting payments, including features to build a web store. So you will not need to worry about many things such as hiring a developer, accepting payments, because Standard Bank and MasterCard have taken care of that. It's very simple, just like the name, it's Simply Blue. So If you're interested in this, you can go to the link above. It's standardbank.co.za/simplyblue. And I also want to mention that Simply Blue has an offer where you can get your store without paying for the sign-up fees. And once you do that, you will also be able to get a free Google Ads. Of course, terms and conditions apply. So let me show you a video which demonstrates how Simply Blue works.
Launching an e-commerce store can open up your business to sales 24/7 and a whole new world of customers. But setting up an online store is expensive. You need to spend money to hire a web developer, and configuring a payment gateway can be complex, right? Wrong! With Standard Bank's Simply Blue platform, anyone can build a secure online store in no time. Let's get this fashion retailer set up as an example. It's simple. Log into the back end of your store and configure your website address, or use a free Simply Blue domain. Then customize the look of your store by uploading your logo and choosing your design from a range of templates. Then finalize your terms and policies using the easy pre-populated prompts as a guide. Next, set up the pages and product categories for your store. Now it's time to upload your products. Simply Blue offers great options when it comes to managing product variations. For example, you can upload multiple sizes and colors. You can also track your inventory and associate SKU numbers. Finally, you can mark down products to create special promotions that drive sales. Once your site is live, customers can purchase goods with a seamless and secure checkout process. And tracking your sales is easy. A simple dashboard lets you view all of your sales data at a glance. Plus, the easy invoicing functionality lets you create and send out professional invoices for your offline sales too. Finally, the Simply Blue app gives you the added bonus of being able to manage your store from your phone, anytime, anywhere. Simply done. Simply Blue. So, what's stopping you? Visit www.standardbank.co.za/simplyblue and set up your online store today. Standard Bank. It can be.
Yes, like you can see, it's very easy to set up a shop on Simply Blue. So let me also show you how you can go to Simply Blue and the process that you will use for you to be able to create your own store. So you will get your logins once you register at the link provided, and then you will enter your email address and your password, and then this is the kind of dashboard that you will be able to get. So in this dashboard, you will be able to see a record of your sales. You will be able to see a record of your, the breakdowns of your risks, the fraud. You'll be able to see your categories and your products. But before we delve into that, let me start by giving some of the advantages of Simply Blue. So the first one is you will get same-day settlement of card sales into your bank. So as an SME, cash flow is usually an issue, but with Simply Blue, you don't have to worry about that. You sell 5 products today, you can be able to get your money the same day. You have buttons to allow you to share on social media. So that means you will be able to post your products again on social media without leaving the platform. You will have fraud management, which will protect your earnings. So that means you don't need to worry about the security of your money once you start your e-commerce shop. Let me go back to the demo. Let me show you some of the things that you will see. You will get analytics, which is showing you the earnings you get, the key stats in terms of the payments you received, the number of transactions that you received. And then let's go to stores, where you'll be able to customize the way you want your store to look like. Let's start by home. So in home, you will be able to see the details about your store in terms of the name of your store. You will be able to add your first product. You will be able to add your taxes. shipping rules, among others. So for example, let's try with this. Let's see how we can be able to edit the name of our store. So once we get here, we'll be able to change. For example, if you don't like the name that we have here, you can always add another, you can always add this. You can also be able to have the currency. So are you in South Africa? Do you want Naira? Do you want USD? So you can be able to change that. Of course, there's descriptions. You can be able to change your business contact information, support contact information. Let me show you another functionality. It's very easy to add your products. Again, like I mentioned, you do not need any knowledge in coding. So here, this is where you come and say, I'm selling maybe say X, and then you give the price, you describe, you have to buy 5 trays at any given time. And then you come here and add your images. So you'll have the hero image, the main image here, and then the supporting images here. And you can even say, give the quantity. So this one helps so much because when buyers come to your website, they will be able to see that they need to act very fast because this particular product is going out of stock. So you can even enable here to have product variants. So maybe you have a suit and this suit comes in different colors, different sizes. So you will be able to actually do that here. Let's go to categories where you can be able to set your categories. So for example, you want to add a new category. Maybe, for example, if you talk about fashion, you already talked about ladies wear, men wear. So there's another category that you have pending. You can come here and click add category, name the category, and then you will be able to create it very easily. You can even have the display icon shown the way these ones have been shown. So you can see, for example, satellite TV, this is a category, power surprise, all these categories. And then you can be able to set up your checkouts. For example, do you want people to finish everything on the website, or do you want it to be semi-manual? What's the message do you want given once people check out from your website? So you can be able to do all that very easily. And then you can even customize your shop very well. What kind of templates do you want to use? Do you want to use, now this one usually depends on the products that you're selling. Do you want it to look like this? Do you want it to look like this? So you just choose a theme and then you give the information that you talked about. Set the homepage image where you can just click here, upload it. You can upload from your gallery from your computer. You set up the message to have here. So do you want to say welcome to South Africa? Do you want to say offers, quick offers today? Do you want to say 50% off? You can see it's very easy to do all that. And then once you're there, you can be able to view your store. Let me show you how our store looks like. So our store looks like this. So we were able to choose the templates, and now we are selling laptops, we are selling electronics, and like you can see, this is such a professional looking website. So in summary, like we mentioned, e-commerce has very many benefits, which basically means right now it's mandatory for you to have an e-commerce shop, especially if you sell physical goods. Even in services, like we've demonstrated, we have businesses in tours who are doing very well in e-commerce. So the steps is you need to know the platform to choose, you need to create your website, and then you need to know how to get traffic to your website. And then that's where Google comes in because they help you do that. So for you to access the special offer by Google, Standard, and MasterCard, go to go.co.co/GrowAfrica, and you will be able to get as much information as possible about how to create the e-commerce shop and about how to go about setting up Google Ads for you to get traffic to your ads. So thank you very much for that. In case you have any questions, you can post them on the chat below. Think big, think global, and let's get selling.